With almost 500,000 visitors, this book fair is one of the biggest in the Middle East. For some, it's simply a chance to load up on reading material. But for an industry trying to make its mark, these events have another, bigger role.
The publisher in the Arab world, he's the publisher, he's the distributor, and he's the wholesaler, and he's the bookshop. There is no distribution company existing in the Middle East. So the Arab publisher can distribute their books only through the book fairs around the Middle East. It gave them the choice and the options of meeting another international publisher and signing deals of translating Arabic books to foreign language.
Getting books to a global audience is a long-standing problem here. More than 1 in 4 books published in the Arab world have been translated from another language. But there's a huge imbalance. Experts say that each year, just a few dozen Arabic books are translated for other markets. Here, they want to change that. They're offering overseas publishers grants to help cover translation costs. But until recently, simply finding the people to do the translation's been tricky.
The perception that there's a dearth of translators from Arabic has been true in the past. Probably could count them on the fingers of one hand. One thing that you can say is that to translate from Arabic you have to know at least 2 forms of Arabic, because there is the formal written language and then there are the dialects, and almost any work of literature is bound to contain some amount of dialect. That's one difficulty.
Sarah's one writer whose books have been translated from Arabic. But the Emirati author believes the real issues aren't technical or financial. Instead, she says the books being translated aren't always the ones which will appeal to an overseas audience.
Translation is very important, but what's happening now is that the novels being translated are very weak, as the government is choosing them. And unfortunately, they choose the weak novels because they give limited freedoms. I hope that international print houses start to look for artists on their own without waiting for governments to recommend writers.
As industry figures meet to thrash out deals, there's an expectation that the Arab uprisings will lead to a swathe of work from countries like Egypt and Tunisia, things that will hold international appeal. Until then, though, publishers see children's books as offering the greatest potential for overseas success.
It's an area of publishing less affected by the digital revolution. Parents like to have a physical copy that has pictures in it, that's something that you can sit down with your children and use, and there's been a lot of positive moves towards publishing very high quality product in the children's area. So of course that means some of the groundwork's already been done for us as well, so it's a much easier area for us to get into in terms of just straightforward translations, but maybe using some of the same artwork which already exists in the Arabic product.
And that means that instead of translated versions of foreign language favourites, these Emirati youngsters are learning to read with homegrown books that could soon be on the shelves of London, Paris and New York. And that will be the sign of an industry that's turning the page. Simon Atkinson, BBC News, Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates.